I was one of those people that was all for him being president because he's a good businessman. That's the rhetoric I was given, and that's the rhetoric I parroted.
And really, honestly, with the way that the economy works and those government contracts work, is that's really all you have to do. You don't have to provide any proof that you can do any of it. You just have to be good at convincing people that you can.
Yeah. And that's what Trump can do.
And yeah.
I mean, maybe not right now, but that's how he got where he is.
Pretty much.
Is by being able to convince people of anything.
And he's doing to the country what he's done to every business he's ever owned.
So, but I was one of those people that was all for him being president because he's a good businessman. That's the rhetoric I was given, and that's the rhetoric I parroted.
I'm not gonna lie, like back in 2016, when he ran for the first time, I heard that rhetoric and went, I mean, that's decent.
From an economic standpoint,
that's not a bad angle to look at it from. And then I went and I looked into all of his businesses, and all of them he drove into the ground and then sold them off for pieces. And I went, oh,
that kind of businessman.
That kind
of rich businessman.
Yeah. But I also had at that point already deconstructed out.
And that election, I had just left my first husband and had not begun deconstructing.
I would say you had.
I didn't know it.
The bricks were loose.
I wasn't going to church all the time.
One hadn't come out of the wall yet, but they were loose.
Right. They were loose. I did not have any thoughts at the time of leaving my faith.
Yeah.
I had left church. I couldn't find a church. I had bad experiences. I was like, I'm just done. I left my first husband and I was just, oh, there's an election.
Yeah.
It was one of those like, oh, right. I have to do that.
Oh God. Yeah.
And I was in school at the time, in college, and it was in macroeconomics. And that's what my brain was on. And so I messaged a friend of mine. I was like, break it down economically, Clinton versus Trump. And I made my decision that
was
way.
It Clinton? Or
it was 26. Wasn't it 2016?
Was it Clinton versus Trump?
It was Clinton and Trump.
No, I think it was. Who was?
I feel like it was Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
This is research in action.
This is so we make sure we get our facts correct.
It was Hillary Clinton. You were right.
Okay.
I totally forgot about that race. Oh my God, that's right.
That was his first race, I believe.
Yeah, and she basically handed it to him.
His first that he got to the primary. I think he tried to run earlier, but didn't get all the way.
I think he joked about running.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he actually
signed up,
put down any effort until 2016 campaign.
So I made the decision on that election based on economics because I felt in the position I was in my life breaking down, and I was focusing on school, and I focused on economics. It was new. I was learning it. I was like, okay, I at least feel like I can make a decision, a well-informed decision on one point.
Right.
And so between Clinton and Trump, I chose Trump. Not that it's anybody's business, but I did. Yeah. I did because of what I felt was the best economic decision.
Well, you were also surrounded by people who were also
that. Yeah, right. I mean, let's not dismiss that part of it.
Yeah, because you're hearing, I was also surrounded by a bunch of people who were speaking positively, not necessarily with the MAGA fervor that we see today, but still enough Christian Republicans around me saying, oh, this is cool, this is awesome, this is a good idea, but
it's a good business move. This country needs to be run by a businessman. That's what I was told.
Oh, let's talk.
I said that. I parroted it because I understood the words and could articulate.
I would sit there and nod along, and then I'd go home and be like, wait.
It's okay.
I played Final Fantasy VII. I don't think we should run the government like a business. And then I'd be like, wait. I read that book. I don't think that turns out the way we think it turns out. But then I get back into, and that's part of like the peer pressure of where the people you are around and how they are circulating thoughts and opinions and how that can sway your thoughts and your opinions. It's not that bad if Trump wins. You know, back in 2016, you're sitting there like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Well, because you also did have the
because I'm surrounded
saying no Hillary Clinton, no Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, because you're surrounded by people who are so positive for this movement, and definitely can't have Hillary Clinton because she's corrupt.
She's a demon.
She's corrupt, and she's a corrupt politician, and she's lying, and all of this stuff.
Let me interject. I actually don't know because I haven't researched it.
What, whether or not she's a demon?
Yeah. I don't know. She probably is. I'm trying to get away from just being like, yeah, without understanding the whole story. You might be right, but I want to figure that out.
But yeah, that whole effect, because like literally in 2016 was like, well, it can't be that bad. But I also hadn't fully realized that the country is purple and that Republicans and Democrats are the same party. So it really would have been 6 one way and half a dozen the other, regardless of who was president in 2016.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in one area, part of me is like, it's just for 8 years. And then it's just going to be redone. So it's just a constant start and change and start and change and start and change. Anyway, am I understanding what you're
pretty
saying?
much? Yeah. Like, it doesn't, like, the whole thing, like looking back at 2016, being like, wow, that was a wild ride. What would have happened if Trump hadn't gotten into office? Would Hillary really have been better? Would she? Maybe. I don't know. It didn't happen. But those are questions we can ask now.
Right. Those are questions we can ask now. But it's like, I mean, we can go in so many different directions. Just the whole MAGA wave itself it wasn't in your face. Let me start over. Being raised in evangelical Christianity, not realizing I was being raised in Christian nationalism.
Yeah, that part.
The always vote Republican was very, very prominent.
Yeah.
But I will say that it did change intensity as I got older. Maybe that's just because I got older and understood things more. But I feel like just the rhetoric of being in church and being around people that are in that community, it was always like, yeah, you have to vote Republican. You can't be Christian if you vote Democrat. But then when Trump came into the picture, politics were talked about way more.
Yeah.
Way, way more. And I felt like his name was brought up in everything. I'm like, I don't remember the president's name being brought up this much.
I think my parents were a little more political than your parents were.
Yes, that's true.
And so I heard a lot. I can't say that there was a surge in rhetoric in my family or in my circle of friends around 2016. I think it hit me in 2020 on January 6th that, oh, this is not a localized problem. Because I always thought I deconstructed from evangelicalism, and it's just this problem over here in my section of the country. And, you know, I just need to get away from this little group of people. And when January 6th happened, I realized, oh, this is a much bigger problem. This is a national problem. This is everywhere. And that's really where, for me, it felt like it escalated into and less of a volume and more of a broadness of the issue for me.
I was focused on COVID when January 6th happened.
Which is fair because we all kind of...
Because January 6th was 2021, correct? Yes.
Yes.
So I was focused on the rules and regulations for COVID food restaurants. Yeah. So, because we kind of all, I remember we were all like, okay, everything's happening in the world right now. You focus there, you focus there. And so I was focused on the executive orders and learning that politics that I'd never learned and trying to make sure we were following all the rules there. So when January 6th happened, I didn't fully grasp everything that meant.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I only recently took the time to go back through the story of what happened and footage and everything and really being like, oh, I wish I understood that at the time. Right. But it is what it is. I was smack dab in the beginning / middle of my deconstruction and was you can't learn everything at one time.
No, you really can't.
And that's hard to grasp when you want to just open your brain and dump it all in.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, you can't. It won't make sense.
That just gets confusing and discouraging. And
so I'm having to do a lot of backtracking to stuff even in the last 5 years. Even though I considered myself out of the church and not a Christian, I still was processing things through whatever understanding I had at the time. And I'm still having to update that understanding and then revisit stuff over and over and over again.
The revisiting stuff, like, I don't think people deeply appreciate that about deconstruction as much as they should. That, like, it's a spiral. Yeah. Deconstructing or healing from any kind of trauma or any kind of injury, even, it's a spiral, and you're going to keep coming back around to points over and over, and each time you'll see them from a slightly different perspective. Each time you'll see them a little bit in a different lighting, and something else will make sense and something else will fall off. And it takes so much time. I think people get impatient with the person deconstructing, and I think the person deconstructing gets impatient with themselves. Like, oh my God, do we have to hash this over again? Yes. Yeah. Yes. We are back here again talking about this thing one more time because there's more to it. Mm-hmm. And now that you've gone around in the circle and you've gained more knowledge, we need to look at it again from this place of new wisdom. Mm-hmm.
So put that spiral in science, history, art.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Politics. There's so much. Yeah. Like, so each pocket is its own spiral, and then they spiral through each other because, I'm like, well, we're talking politics. Oh, well, that's going to mean January 6th. Oh, well, I need to go revisit that to understand what's going on in politics today. Like, you're constantly or even that, having to bounce.
In order to understand January 6th, I have to go back to 1945. In order to understand that, I have to go back. And then you go down this crazy ass rabbit trail of history, and then you come back to January 6th and you're like, there's another thing I don't understand, and I have to go down this completely different, like, what is a constitution? Like, what is it?